Did you know that the Earth is like a giant cake with all sorts of layers and shapes? That's right. Just like a cake has layers of sponge, cream and frosting, our planet has layers of landforms. These landforms are natural features that shape the Earth's surface. There are many different types of landforms, each with its own unique characteristics and charm. Today, we're going to explore some of the most fascinating ones, including mountains, plateaus, plains and deserts. We'll also dive into the mysterious world of caves, canyons, valleys, basins, cliffs, islands, and buttes. Isn't it exciting to think about all the different shapes and sizes our Earth comes in? From the towering heights of mountains to the vast expanses of deserts and the intricate formations of caves, the Earth's surface is a wonderful display of natural artistry. So buckle up, because we're about to embark on a thrilling journey across the Earth's surface. Imagine standing on top of the world where everything below looks tiny. That's what it's like on a mountain. Mountains, my friends, are nature's skyscrapers. They are large landforms that rise above the surrounding land in significant heights. But how do they form, you ask? Well, they're created when the Earth's tectonic plates smash together, like when you push two pieces of Play-Doh and they rise up. Now, let's talk about some famous mountains. Mount Everest is the tallest, standing proudly at a staggering height of 29,029 feet. But did you know that Mauna Kea in Hawaii is actually taller? Yes, indeed. When measured from its base at the bottom of the ocean, it stands over 33,000 feet tall. And here's a fun fact. Mountains are home to about 1/10 of the world's population. Mountains are more than just giant rocks. They're magnificent natural skyscrapers. Ever thought of a giant table in the middle of nowhere? That's a plateau for you. And plains? They're like a giant flat canvas stretching as far as the eye can see. So, what's a plateau exactly? Imagine a flat or gently sloping elevated area that has been uplifted due to the Earth's crustal movements. Now that's a plateau. They're often found between mountain ranges like the Colorado Plateau in the United States. And what about plains? They're extensive, flat or gently rolling lands. They're usually low in elevation and often have a grassy landscape, making them perfect for farming. The Great Plains in the US and the Nullarbor Plain in Australia are perfect examples of this. Did you know that the largest plateau in the world is the Tibetan Plateau, often referred to as the roof of the world, and the world's largest plain is the West Siberian Plain in Russia? Next time you see a flat, wide-open space, remember it could be a plateau or a plain. Imagine a place so hot, you'd need a bucket of water just to stay cool. Welcome to the desert. Deserts are vast, open spaces that get very little rain. In fact, they're so dry that they receive less than 10 inches of rainfall each year. But don't be fooled into thinking it's just a bunch of sand. Deserts are formed over millions of years through the process of weathering and erosion. Now let's take a tour around the world. Ever heard of the Sahara? It's the world's largest hot desert covering most of North Africa. That's about the size of the entire United States. And then there's the cold desert of Antarctica, which is technically a desert because of its low rainfall. Here's a fun fact. The driest place on Earth is a desert too. It's the Atacama Desert in Chile, where some areas haven't seen rain for over 400 years. Deserts are more than just sand and heat, they're full of life and beauty. Now let's dive into the world of caves, soar through canyons, hike through valleys, explore basins, climb cliffs, sail to islands, and admire the buttes. Imagine a world underground where stalactites and stalagmites meet in the middle to form magnificent columns. That's the realm of caves, formed by the slow and steady work of water eroding rock over thousands of years. The largest cave chamber in the world is the Sarawak Chamber in Malaysia, which is so big, it could fit 40 Boeing 747 airplanes. Next, let's soar over canyons formed by rivers cutting deep into the earth. The Grand Canyon in the United States is a perfect example, and it's so large you could stack 18 Empire State Buildings one on top of the other from its bottom to its top. Now imagine hiking through valleys, the low areas between mountains or hills. Valleys are usually formed by the actions of rivers and glaciers. The world's longest valley, the Nile Valley in Africa, stretches for over 4,000 miles. Let's explore basins next. These are areas of land where water collects and drains off into a central point, often forming a lake or a river. The Great Basin in the United States is so vast it covers most of Nevada and half of Utah. Now let's climb cliffs, steep rock faces formed by erosion or by the movement of the Earth's crust. The highest sea cliff in the world is the Kalaupapa Cliff in Hawaii, which stands taller than the Eiffel Tower. Next, let's sail to islands, landforms entirely surrounded by water. The largest island in the world is Greenland, which is so big, it's about 3 times the size of Texas. Lastly, Let's admire the buttes, isolated hills with steep sides and flat tops. They are like a smaller version of plateaus and are often found in arid regions. The famous Monument Valley in the United States is dotted with these majestic landforms. Our Earth is truly a treasure trove of diverse landforms, each with its own unique beauty and charm. Wow, we've traveled across mountains, plateaus, plains, deserts, caves, canyons, valleys, basins, cliffs, islands, and buttes. Now, are you ready for a fun quiz to test what you've learned? Let's recap first. We scaled towering mountains, strolled across vast plateaus and plains, and even braved the extreme heat of deserts. We explored the mysterious depths of caves, marveled at the dramatic canyons, valleys, and basins, stood in awe at the edge of cliffs, and hopped from one beautiful island to another, and who could forget those unique buttes? Now here's your quiz. What's the landform that's high and steep like a mountain but smaller? If you're thinking butte, you're right on point. Which of these landforms can be found surrounded by water? That's right, it's an island. And which landform is a flat, elevated area? Yes, that's a plateau. Remember, our Earth is an amazing place full of diverse and beautiful landforms. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep having fun.